if the goats will be quiet, we'll talk about how we know March is a real jerk here in the Midwest. We can know for sure when it's time to plant our frost tender vegetables in the garden. So my grandma always had this book called the Farmer's Almanac. I keep one and I look at it and go by it for a lot of different things. One thing that stuck in my head, she read out of it and told me one year, when the hickory tree leaves are as big as a squirrel's ear, which I've measured is about that big. It's little, okay? When the hickory tree's leaves are as big as a squirrel's ear, then the frost is done. You're done with frost for the year and you can plant whatever you want. Now, if we see here, there are no buds at all on the hickory trees. They are just still very, very dormant, not doing a darn thing. You can see the tiny start of a bud, but they're not anywhere close to green, certainly, and they're not anywhere close to this size. So, not time to plant things outside yet. I always loved listening to my grandma read. She read out of several books to all of us grandkids. And I liked the Farmer's Almanac, I think because it was so practical. There were so many things we could do with that information, and I've always been one of those kids that like to be doing things. That was my favorite. She also read poetry to us. Here's the calendar and the weather. Here, there's one for each month. Zone 5, this one here says the 1st through the 3rd of March. Fair skies across the southern plains. Agreed to say it has, you find your zone and then it has your weather forecast. Not that it's, accurate. They don't give temperatures or anything like that, but gives pretty good information as far as big things that are coming down. The other thing I really like is, of course, the lunar cycles are in here. Let's see, one more thing here. Any astronomical, is that the way you say that? Astronomical things that happen, like eclipses, they're all in here, as well as where they can be seen. And then there's all these fun little tips, favorite uses for eggshells. Just fantastic little things. A gestation and incubation chart. How many days of gestation for each animal if you have animals on your farm. Best days to put your eggs in the incubator. Gardening tips, best days. And this is a pretty simplistic view of gardening tips. For instance, typically speaking, a new moon is the best time to plant any above ground crops. And the waning moon is better to harvest than a waxing moon. But this, you don't even have to do any of that. They just tell you right here. Above ground crops, January 4th, 5th, 9th, 26th through 28th, and the 31st. And then root crops to plant, transplant for every month of the year. They have a little chart there, so you don't have to figure all that out on your own. They have all kinds of things. When the best time is to quit smoking, the best time is to start a diet to gain weight, to lose weight, to potty train, to wean humans or animals. This is funny. I should tell a story on my little brother here. My mom was trying to wean my little brother from breastfeeding, and she called my grandma and she said, when is the best time to do it? And Grandma got out because Mom had been trying to wean him for weeks and weeks. And Grandma got out the almanac and told her the day, and he was weaned within like 2 days. Didn't cry anymore, didn't anything. So pretty fantastic. But yeah, there's just, homemade garden fertilizer. Whichever volume or whichever edition you get of the almanac, there's going to be just tons and tons of information. That's sort of the purpose of the almanac, is to provide information for people that are that live close to the ground, close to the earth. And I just find it fantastic, all this old wisdom here. Can birds predict the weather? Around the farm, roosters and hens give clues about the weather. And these are all just old sayings that have found to be true. If the rooster crows on going to bed, you may rise with a watery head. So that means if the rooster crows at night, it's probably going to rain overnight. If a rooster crows at night, there will be rain by morning. It's the same thing, just different words there. So anyway, yeah, I love the almanac. It's, any edition you get is great. Again, I think the best one to get is the old Farmer's Almanac, and I'll add a picture of it at the end here, but any Farmer's Almanac is going to get you good and started. Honestly, guys, it makes a difference. I know I get a lot of people who laugh at me and like, oh, that's not right, that doesn't make any difference. Actually, yes, it does. Try it for yourself, see what you think. If you read the Farmer's Almanac, I'd love to hear about it. Comment below. Her game that she played with us was hide the thimble, and she'd hide it on her big toe or one of her toes, and then she'd put her house slippers back on, and we pretended we didn't know that it was there, and she pretended we couldn't figure it out, but it was just a fun little game we used to play.